Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this natural hair pomade. If you're new to my channel, my name is Sylvia. I make DIY skincare and hair care products. So in this tutorial, this is going to be a detailed tutorial on how to make this pomade. If you have plans for making this for business or for personal use or to give out as a gift, this is the right place for you, because I'm going to take my time to explain in details everything you need to know about making your own natural hair pomade at home. And this is pure natural. There's no chemicals that will be harmful to your hair and your scalp. And I'm going to tell you whether this needs a preservative or not a preservative, if you want to sell it, you want to give it out, and also for personal use. And if you are using this this is good for both adult and children, both those with sensitive skin and scalp. This is good. And I'll also tell you, give you a substitute for other ingredients. Maybe if you don't want a particular ingredient, if you're allergic to any ingredient or you react to any particular ingredient in this hair pomade, I'm going to give you alternative to other ingredients you're going to use. So if you're really interested in making this hair pomade the professional way, stick to this video to the end. You will learn a lot, I promise you that. And so just take your pen and your paper and write down. However, I'll still be writing down the ingredient and measurement on the screen in case you miss out in any one. So to get started with making this hair pomade, this natural hair pomade, I got this skill recently. So here I'm facing the battery, and this is it. This is good. I got this from Timo and it's very good. I've been enjoying this skill. And so to make, when it comes to natural product, using a scale will be your best bet. Not using cup. So most times when you use cup for your measurement is not really accurate. If I use cup to measure my ingredients, when I tell you 1 cup, half a teaspoon, when you measure it, you'll find out that it may not come out the same way. But in this case, I'm going to be using scale to measure, and I'm using my I'll be writing the ingredient, and I'm measuring, and my recipe is in grams. So for your information, so at this point I'm measuring out my ingredient for this hair pomade. And if I didn't mention, this hair pomade can also be used. Men can use it, and you can also use it to maintain your natural hair. So the first ingredient, I have about 5 major key ingredients here. And so my measurements I'll be writing on the screen. And so you feel free to make use of different oils or change things in this hair pomade. So the first I'm adding into my beaker here is my shea butter. Shea butter help moisturize the hair and keep the hair protected, locking in moisture on your hair, even on your skin, if you want to use this. And so for my shea butter, I use 35 grams of shea butter. And the next thing I'm adding is my beeswax. Here I'm using unrefined beeswax, and you will notice that when you're using refined beeswax for this particular hair pomade, the texture are usually different. I've tried using both the refined beeswax and the unrefined beeswax in making this particular hair pomade. And I noticed that whenever I use the refined beeswax, the texture is different from the one I made using the unrefined one. And so it is your choice at this point to try them and see which one you prefer before you start giving it out or selling it. And so at this point I'm using unrefined beeswax. And the next ingredient I added is my petroleum jelly. And the reason of using this is most times I notice, because I don't usually add preservative to this hair pomade. When I use ordinary shea butter and every other ingredient to make this pomade, I notice that within 3 months to 4 months it goes rancid, because there's a tendency that maybe people putting hand into the pomade may likely have water in their hands. And remember, if you're making this pomade, because there's no water included, if you if your hands are wet and you dip it into it, there's a tendency it's going to go rancid. But using this petroleum has helped a lot. I use it to, even when you dip your hand in it with wet hand, nothing, it still doesn't go rancid, and that's because of the petroleum in it. That's why I usually love using it. But if you don't want the petroleum in yours and you want to use preservative, I would advise you use a broad spectrum preservative and add it to it if you know that people using it might end up putting wet hand into the hair pomade. So just use preservative. And if you don't want to use preservative, use shea butter, and make sure it lasts within maybe 2-3 months. You should be done with the batch you made. But if you want it to last longer, like a year and 2 years, use petroleum jelly or preservative. So the next I added, after adding this ingredient together, the butters and the petroleum jelly, I place it on in a hot water bath and melt the butters and the beeswax, including petroleum jelly. And I bought a heat top, but it didn't work as you saw in the video, so I had to move back with using a stove to melt my oils. And after that, I added my liquid oil. I didn't add liquid oil when I was making. I was adding the butters in the pan so that I retained the nutrients in the liquid oils. And the liquid oil I used coconut oil. You can use any oil of your choice. You can even combine the oils. Maybe the total oil I use is 101 grams of the coconut oil. You can use grapeseed oil. You can decide to split your oils into maybe three different oils, but make sure the total should be 101 grams. And after that, mix everything together. And once if you have a thermometer, if you're new, you don't know when it's time for you to add your cool down ingredients, just use a thermometer. With a thermometer, check it, dip it into the oil, and once it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, then you start adding your cool down phase. And at this point, the cool down phases are the vitamin E oil. Vitamin E oil is an antioxidant. It helps the pomade not to go rancid. So for my vitamin E oil, I used 2 grams of vitamin E oil. And the next I added is my fragrance oil. You can use any fragrance of your choice depending on what you want. For this one, I use baby powder fragrance, which is so good. And for the baby powder fragrance I noticed even when I put 1% of it, it's kind of harsh for me, so I reduce it. So it's your choice depending on how you love your fragrance. And the next I added is my maca powder. And for the maca powder I used for this hair pomade, and let it be decide the color you want. I use gold maca powder, and I also use green maca powder. So whatever maca powder you decide, just put it and make sure you mix very well. And after mixing it, then you pour it into a sterilized container. And here I'm pouring it into a sterilized container for my good. You notice that I mixed one with the green maca powder, and the next one I mixed with my gold maca powder. And here is it. After I finish adding all this ingredient, then I pour it into this sterilized container. And 2 ways you can do this. You can leave it in room temperature for 3 to 4 hours to solidify. And if you want it faster, just put it in the fridge and let it sit. Within 30 minutes in the fridge, this hair pomade will solidify and you're good to go. You start using it. You can give it out as a gift. You can start selling it. And I want to assure you, if you follow the process and the measurement I use, and for this tutorial I use the least badge, just little badge of it. You just you can double this if you want a bigger size, a large size of pomade. You can double it and do what you want, but remember to use your grams, use your scale to measure it. Don't ever try using 1 cup, 2 cups, or a teaspoon. No, use gram to measure it, and you get the desired result. You get exactly what you're seeing on the screen, the same texture, the same consistency. And with this consistency, you're good to go. You can give this out, you can sell it. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any question with regard to this hair pomade, don't forget to drop it on the comment section. I'll be there to reply your question. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in my next tutorial. Bye.